Hi everybody, it's Maureen of Maureen 97 Designs, and today I'm here with another stamping quick tip. This is quick tip number 5. And what happened was I was playing with this stamp set from Concord and Ninth called Grateful Blooms, and it has two main images that you're meant to stamp one at a time, but then you put them together and they make a one focal image. So this is how it would look. So there's this one, this image is kind of like a greenery, and then this one is like flower heads and maybe berries. So this, if you just stamp each one in one color, you get something like this. And then I went ahead and added maybe some details with some colored pencil. But I didn't quite like that look, so I wanted to actually stamp, because there's two different kinds of branches on that greenery image, I kind of wanted the bigger branches to be a lighter green and then the smaller branches to be a darker green. And then I wanted the flower heads to be one color, maybe like a yellow, and then the berries like an orange. But it's really hard to use even ink cubes to get that into that small detail area, so I came up with the idea that you can use your detail blending brushes. This white one is from Waffle Flower and this black one is from Altenew. And I'm not sure if there are other brands out there, but these are the ones that I have for now. And so you can end up with something like this instead of just the two colors. And I actually put not only the two colors, but I did a little bit of extra color on some of the flowers to make them a little bit more interesting. I put the dark green on maybe the stems of the larger branches to make that a little bit more interesting. But I wanted to show you how I did it, and there are a couple ways you can do this. Now what I'm doing is I'm using a dark and a light of the same color. So a green, the light color I have Concord and Ninth Sprout, and then the darker color I have Clover. But if you were going to do something where there are two different, completely different colors, you want to do the second way. I'm going to teach you how to do this technique. So the first way, I already have my leafy stamp in here. The first way is to just cover the entire stamp with your lighter color, your lighter shade, because you can put the darker shade over this lighter shade no problem without making some kind of weird color mix. So if you are going to use two completely different colors, you want to just use the blending brushes right from the get-go instead of inking up with your ink pad first. So let me show you. Now I'm going to get the darker color, and this is the Clover, and I'm going to get my detail blending brush, and I'm just going to load up my blending brush with ink right from that ink pad, and I'm going to carefully apply the color to just those smaller branches. And I'm kind of using a pouncing motion, because if you rub it on, you won't get very good coverage, and it probably will end up kind of streaky, like if you swiped on your ink from an ink pad, it would look kind of streaky. So I'm doing a pouncing motion, which is kind of how we ink up our stamps. We pounce the ink pad onto the stamp. So I'm just going really carefully, and in this case, because I'm using a darker tone of that same green, or of green, it kind of doesn't matter too much if I get a little bit on my lighter stems, but I'm kind of trying to be careful and not getting the ink to go onto the other stems. So once I color up all of these little branches with as much ink as I want, I'm going to go ahead and stamp again, and that's why I'm using the MISTI, because it has to line up exactly like it did the first time. And I'm going to press down, and you can see now that I have two different colors on my paper using just one stamp. And there are ways that you can ink up with your ink pad using little pieces of paper to mask off areas of the stamp, mask off areas of the paper where you don't want that color to go down, but this is so much easier. And if I want to, because I'm using my MISTI, if I don't like the coverage that I got, I can actually put this paper back in, butt it up right in that corner, and go ahead and apply more ink to just those little branches. Or if I want to add a little more interest to my larger branch, I could ink up maybe just the stem portion in the darker green, and then go ahead and stamp that again. And then what I would do is clean this off, get my other stamp, put it there, and because these are not the same shade of one color, but the orange goes over the yellow really well, you can do the same technique here. You can just apply the yellow ink all over, and then just apply the orange on the berries with the detail blending brush. But like I said, if you want to use two different colors, what I would do is start with two different blending brushes, and I would do one color with one blending brush and then the other color with the second blending brush. And I wouldn't be using the ink pads direct to the stamp at all. So this would be the finished image. You can see how I got all that different color and some of the detail on the flower heads and the bigger branches. And you know, sky's the limit with this. You can ink up any one stamp with as many different colors as you want. You can even actually mix colors right on that stamp with your blending brushes. Really anything you can think of with this technique you can do, and it's not gonna be as good of an image as if you stamped it with an ink pad because you're using the blending brushes, but that's why we've got the MISTI, so we can stamp again and again to get the perfect image. So I hope this tip is helpful to you, and if it is, please hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that'd be awesome. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!